I am 30 years old. I've been transitioning for 3 years. I've known I've been trans for probably about 15 years deep down. I still do not know what it means to be transgender. And
Looks like he's having a nice feast.
Her.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
But it was not all good.
Today, we're going to be talking about transgender women. Now, am I transphobic? Absolutely not. But there is some content that I don't agree with, which is put out by certain creators. Today, we're going to cover two creators. One called Lilly Tino, who is a TikToker with a 331,000 following, and this is the person I really don't agree with. And then on the other hand, we're going to be talking about a YouTuber called Alexis Blake, who is wonderful. So let's compare their content so we can ascertain why I feel one is very wrong and disgusting, and the other one is awesome and I watch all the time.
Hi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir. Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Okay. The Sweetwater starts at
yes,
okay.
Sir?
Not.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's just always like a knife. It always hurts every single time. I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something that happened. Yeah, I was called sir.
Oh, okay.
It just really sucks every time it happens.
Sorry about that.
I don't need to be called ma'am. I just need to not be called sir, you know? Thank you. Can you call me sir? I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir. Called me sir. It's just like, it kind of just hurts a lot to get called sir.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
Very good. Thank you so much. No, yeah. Thank you. I'm not a sir. Nothing like a good misgendering. It is a knife in the gut when I get called sir. I feel like I need to tell him. I need to tell him that hurt. It hurts more when it's not intentional because it means like this is sir to him. I know you didn't mean it, but I'm not a sir.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I know you didn't mean it. It's just, it hurts. I know when people clock me, it's fine, but like it does kind of hurt. Thank you. I'm not sir.
Oh, sorry.
Not sir. Not sir. The guy who dropped the food off, he called me sir twice in a row.
I'll let him know that and GM.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Those clips are just a few that Lilly Tino has put out where she is complaining that people keep calling her sir. From my point of view, I grew up in a totally different time to now, and there were lots of people who were cross-dressers. They weren't transgender at all, but they did dress like women, and they would still be addressed as sir. So, going by the ages of these waiters and waiting staff, maybe that's where they're confused. Have you ever given that a thought? And why do you keep saying, I've got to tell them, I've got to tell them? Because realistically, it's most likely not going to change anything. And in my opinion, you're only doing it 100% for rage bait. Now, all these places that you keep eating at are all paid for by your TikTok following, donating money to you, which is supposed to be for your gender reaffirming surgery, I believe it's called. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But that is 100% tame compared to what we're going to see next. And as these videos go on, they become more and more and more cringy, disgusting, and things that I believe people really don't need to see.
Buongiorno. This is my manicotti, and later this year, a surgeon will turn it into a tortellini. How, you ask? Let me show you. Now, if I still had my meatballs, which I don't because I got them removed last summer, this would be the first thing the surgeon would remove. So let's go ahead and do that. Ugh. With the meatballs gone, his next move will be to split the manicotti straight down the middle. I wasn't trained for this. Ooh, we did it. We will then open the manicotti and lay it down flat. Inside the manicotti, there's all kinds of filling, which the surgeon will remove. Ugh. Once it's cleaned out, the only thing left will be a small tube of spaghetti that carries all of the manicotti's various sauces. We'll come back to this tube later, but for now, we will shorten it. Next, the surgeon will use the outer shell of the manicotti to create the inner lining of the tortellini. But before the surgeon can create the tortellini, he must first make room for the tortellini. Hey, this might fit. Hey, look at that, we did it. Now we just make sure that our pasta transportation tube is set in the right position inside. And just like that, we have created a brand new tortellini. One final and important note. I know this doesn't look like an appetizing tortellini, but after it's healed, it will. The aesthetics of the surgery have come so far in the past few decades, and the results are truly mind-blowing. And
My question has got to be, why? Why are you sitting outside of an Italian restaurant with food demonstrating what is going to happen to you when you have surgery? That is gross, it's cringy, it's disgusting, and it's so wrong. But believe you me, the next clip is even worse.
I'm gonna get banned from Disney. I swear, we're about to get banned from Disney. Last summer, I got my cake pops removed, and the plan up until recently was to get my marshmallow wand reconfigured into a marshmallow tunnel. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, I noticed some hair regrowth on my marshmallow wand. That's bad because the outside of the wand is what becomes the inside of the tunnel, so you don't want hair growing there, or else it's very uncomfortable. So I talked to my surgeon and he said that it would be best to postpone the procedure until after hair removal is complete. This is obviously disappointing because I was really excited to have a marshmallow tunnel sooner. That being said, it is still happening. We're just not sure when it's happening. Hair removal is a fickle thing and it's really hard to predict when it will finish. But my hair removal technician thinks it will be before the end of the year. So, fingers crossed. Oh, good. Want some? My mom's here, by the way. The Marshmallow Tunnel.
You have the audacity to start off that clip with, "We are going to get banned from Disney." So you know yourself that you should not be explaining what you are doing there with children running around. We can actually hear them behind you. Luckily, we can't see them. But I could imagine the parents of those children being absolutely horrified. It gets even worse.
When a kid tells you that they're transgender, believe them. A lot of people will say that it's impossible for a 4-year-old to know if they're trans or not. But actually, that's not true. They can know. And here's why. From day one, gender is baked into everything we do. You either have a boy name or a girl name. Boy toys or girl toys, boy clothes or girl clothes. So from an early age, kids understand the difference between boy and girl, and more importantly, which one they're expected to be. So it makes sense that if what they feel inside is different than what they're expected to be, then they might feel uncomfortable, and they might want to talk about that discomfort. And we all know that kids are good at talking about how they feel. For example, "Mommy, I skinned my knee." "Mommy, someone called me a name on the playground." Or even, "Mommy, I don't like wearing boy clothes." These are all similar feelings of discomfort that we can talk about to our parents. That's not to say that all kids will realize they're transgender when they're little. A lot don't. I didn't until I was 27, but I can't tell you how many people I've met that knew they were trans at 4 or 5 years old. So if there's a kid in your life who's telling you they're trans, please believe them. They know what they're talking about, and your support might save their life.
I personally find Lilly Tino perverted and very weird. You need to leave kids alone. And that's what the main problem is with this content, is it's on TikTok. And the biggest audience on TikTok are kids. Next up, we are going to be reacting to Alexis Blake, who is also a transgender woman who I love. She is actually reacting to a video that Lilly Tino made. And in my opinion, this is the worst one of them all. And I am going to react to both of them.
Lilly Tino. I have reacted to this content creator before. I've spoken about a misgendering viral video that went round of hers. But there is another one, and it has had 7.5 million people view it. 331,000 followers at the time of recording, 11.2 million likes, and the video we're gonna watch is Trans Miss Rachel. 7.6 million views. Okay, so for a little bit of context, there is a TikToker out there called Miss Rachel who does videos for children, babies, toddlers, just to help them learn speech and things like that. Really interesting. I actually watched a few of them. I'm not a parent, so obviously I don't use that content creator's videos, but I think it's really interesting. She seems very well loved. So Miss Rachel for Littles has 4.9 million followers, and her videos get millions of views. She's always wearing the little pink t-shirt, the dungarees, and the little pink headband. That seems to be her go-to vibe, which I love. First of all, she is using another content creator's style, appearance, style of video, the way that they do things, to clearly latch on to that. And that's fair enough. She's chosen to do that, whatever. It's a little bit disrespectful, I would say, to the content creator. On the TikTok page, it does say Trans Miss Rachel, so it's clearly taking the identity of that person into their own video. It's just cringy. I think before we go into actually what Lilly says, I'm going to express that view immediately. In my opinion, without trying to get too harsh, it is just a little bit cringy. And I know it's meant for kids. There's the argument, should kids be seeing things like that? Quite possibly.
Lilly Tino is described as someone who is highly intelligent, and that is why she made this content using Miss Rachel, because she knows that that creator has got millions of followers on TikTok. So if someone sees anyone dressed in the little pink t-shirt, the dungarees, and the little pink headband, then she knows that someone is going to click on that, even though it will be done accidentally. And then she's going to get more views and a lot more money, which is very calculating, in my opinion. And should children be seeing this? 100% no.
But we're going to now watch it again, and I'm going to go through each little bit, which is where I'm going to disagree. So let's do it.
Hi friends! Today we're going to talk about something super important. What it means to be transgender. It's a big word, but I promise that it's easy to understand. Ready to learn?
First things first. I am 30 years old. I've been transitioning for 3 years. I've been trans for probably about 15 years deep down. I still do not know what it means to be transgender. And the thing is, with this new woke stuff, I don't even know what word to call it, everything that's going on social media in the LGBT community, about the trans community, the non-binary community, how non-binary is trans, and this and that and this and that. I actually don't know what trans means to people. I know what it means to me. Trans to me means you are born, you feel uncomfortable with who you are, and you transition to the other gender. That's trans to me. I don't think that's what a lot of people think it actually means anymore. So it confuses my judgment, and I think it confuses maybe people who are watching. Hi. It might confuse your judgment what is trans, because I don't think anyone actually knows anymore, because there's so many different variations to the meaning of what it means to be trans. But it's not easy to know what it means to be trans. And even if you are trans like me, I don't think people know what it means. And do you even know what it means to be trans, Lily? I actually don't know.
This is why I love watching Alexis, because she explains things in a wonderful way. And she is saying that she is transgender and has been for 3 years. And even she is confused. So it's no wonder that the rest of the planet don't know what's going on.
Let's watch some more.
Ready to learn? The first thing I want you to do is close your eyes. Now think, do you feel like a boy, a girl, or a little bit of both? Do you have your answer? Great. Now I want you to imagine that everyone keeps telling you that you're something else, even though in your heart, you know who you are. Wouldn't that make you sad inside? People who feel like this are transgender.
No, wrong. Not necessarily. Just because... Okay, calm down. Just because a child expresses feelings that their gender isn't what they were born as does not necessarily mean that they are actually transgender. As a kid, and I can speak from experience, because we've all been kids, my mind changed a lot about what I liked, my friends, my hobbies, things I had passions about. Everything changed constantly, and I know gender's a huge thing, and you might be saying, oh, Alexis, they can know, and possibly they can know, but I think for a lot of children, I think things change and mold and grow, and obviously I wasn't a kid with all this stuff going around on social media and on the internet. We didn't have the internet as much as we do now. I think some kids might maybe not be happy with who they are, or they might feel uncomfortable, and they might maybe latch on to certain trends or things like that. That's just one possible idea that I was thinking about. But I don't think that it's as black and white. It is as yes or no, as if you feel like you're the wrong gender, you are trans. It's not. It's much more complex than that. And it takes a lot of vigorous diagnosis and psychological evaluation to actually find out the genuine root, which is gender dysphoria. So I think it's quite a blasé statement.
I was growing up, I was a tomboy. I was climbing trees, climbing up on things and jumping off and doing all sorts of things that boys did. But that didn't make me want to be a boy. I didn't feel that I was in the wrong body ever. And I agree with Alexis here that just because you want to do things that boys do doesn't necessarily mean that you are the wrong gender. And I strongly believe that people should just leave kids alone. I disagree 100% that children should be given drugs to make them change gender. I 100% disagree with that. And I have also watched so many videos of people that have trans to the opposite sex, and they have absolutely hated it and said it was the worst thing that they have ever done. Now, a child is called a child for a reason, and it is because their brains have not developed and have critical thinking skills. And this is why I believe that children should not be given the option to change their gender until they are at least 18 and classed as an adult.
I don't know what age Lily was making this for, like age of who she wanted to view this creepy video, but I don't think little children should be really knowing, because I have nephews. This is the only way I can describe it. They are 9 and 7, I believe. Yeah? Yes, they are. So I have 2 nephews. They are 9 years old and 7 years old. And I think they kind of have a sense of what's happening to me, and but they don't fully understand it because they're 9 and 7. And also, they don't care. They just know me as uncle, and that's absolutely fine. And I've not corrected them or trying to make them call me anything different. They still call me uncle, old name. No problem with that. Maybe when they're older, they might change. Who knows? Even at their age, which is, I'd say, like an older child approaching the teen years, like the oldest one. And I don't think even he fully understands what it means to be trans. I think he has some semblance of an idea, but I don't think they need to know. They're kids. They just need to be kids. They need to have fun and play and watch TV and just have the enjoyment, because once that goes, when you become an adult, you'll never get it back. So I don't think we need to be teaching them that young exactly what it is in detail, if that makes sense.
Makes absolutely perfect sense to me, Alexis, and I 100% agree with everything you've said there.
Let's watch some more.
And if you're not transgender, it's super easy to be friends with someone who is. Let's take our imaginary friend Theo, for example. One day you notice that Theo starts wearing girl clothes instead of boy clothes, and then they tell you that they want to be called Luna instead of Theo. This is so exciting for our friend Luna because they finally get to be their true self. And if you accidentally call Luna by their old name, make sure to say a big sorry and that you'll do better next time.
Okay, I can't watch anymore. There's only a little bit left. A big sorry if you get someone's name wrong. If a child who probably doesn't understand what's going on and then their friend changes their name and then they get it wrong, they have to say a big sorry. No. As an adult, as I transitioned, I got my name wrong for such a long time and the pronouns wrong by my family and friends and Liam, my partner, for such a long time. Did I ask them to say a big sorry? Absolutely not, because it's a transition for me and for them. It's a change. Everything was changing and we shouldn't expect people to know and mold and instantly be perfect, because that's not possible and it's unrealistic, especially with children.
That is extremely unrealistic and I would imagine quite impossible. I mean, I couldn't imagine going to school with my best friend for the last 5 years and then her suddenly telling me that she's got a different name. Because every time I saw her, her original name would always pop into my head, and I would have to think very carefully before I opened my mouth to say the name. So for a child, I would imagine that would be virtually impossible.
For comments, you did not just do that to Miss Rachel. Miss Rachel, but make it a horror film. Please not Miss Rachel know what is happening. Miss Rachel could sue for this. If you scroll down a little bit more, the general senses are it's vile. And this is what really bugs me. Sorry, I'm screenshotting so you guys can see on the screen. You are sick. You're sick. Put the fries in the bag. They could never make me like you. With certain content creators who are incredibly controversial and transgender. It really bothers me because being a trans content creator, it's already quite controversial as it is because it's a very hot topic at the moment. But then to make content that rubs people the wrong way is always going to create a bad image for trans people. And I've said this so many times before. If someone is remotely transphobic, anti-trans, or even just has reservations around trans people, which I know a lot of people do, the content creators like this just reinforce those negative stereotypes and the negative ideology that people have, and it doesn't help us go forward. It doesn't help normalize trans people. It doesn't help us make us just seem like everyone else. It sets us further apart from everyone else, which makes us an easier target for comments like this.
With content creators like Lilly Tino around, I do really feel sorry for the trans community because she is certainly giving you all a very bad name. But on the other hand, you've got wonderful examples like Alexis Blake, and I have linked her YouTube channel down in the comments. And if you're interested, I would go and watch some of her videos because they are absolutely amazing. I know this has been a controversial video, but it was one that I just felt I had to give my opinion on. Whether you feel that's right or wrong is obviously your prerogative. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more commentary videos on any subject that takes my fancy, and I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now.